Second Maccabees chapter 2, verse 24 and 25. It says, "For considering the infinite number and the difficulty which they find that desire to look into the narrations of the story, for the variety of the matter, we have been careful that they that will read may have delight, and that they that are desirous to commit to memory might have ease, and that all into whose hand it comes might have profit." All right, I'm going to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rikakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And salutation to the optimists that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Lord willing, I hope this video will be edifying. Okay, first and foremost to the hopeful elect and those that cleave to the body. And as you can see here on the screen, we have a forget to remember, because a lot of time it's just simple as remembering to forget, man. You see, but the scriptures to basically to remember to commit yourself to memory, that's when you have ease. All right, so this video gonna be on the premise of basically memorizing precepts, man. Just going over those things, basically training the mind up, man, that you may be able to navigate with ease in the narrations of the story, man. Because in the narration of the story is a variety of matters. So our mind is steady clicking back and forth on, man, I'm trying to find this precept, or, I'm trying to do this, or I'm trying to do that. All right. And, that's just the volume of the scriptures. All right. That's why, going to Psalms 47, it says, "Lord, I come in a volume of the book. It is written of me," because there's a variety of the matter. Okay. And the narratives of the story is, it's the same narrative, but it's plenty from different points of views. Okay. Which those different points of views, I want to say different points of views, just their portion in the men that was written, in the books. It was the portion of the spirit which the Lord poured upon them to show them and give to them. You see, so it's an infinite number. All right, and the difficulty which they find that desire to look into the narration of the story, because even going with Paul, it says some wrestle. All right, with the scriptures, man. All right, because they'll be hard to understand the difficulty in it, man. You see, and remember, in scriptures, there are so many scriptures. All right, you can, you can forget the ones you remember, man, if that makes sense. You see, by once retaining other ones or coming across other ones, we tend to put the ones we have learned. We have the tendency sometimes to be like, oh well, I know it. All right, I can put that over there, and then once it's time for it to come out, you can't recall a mind where it was at. All right. It says, but you have to use that carefulness, man, and most of all right, is upon the Lord, because the Lord pondereth the hearts. Matter of fact, it's Proverbs 16:1. It says, "The preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord." So, the Lord, the preparations of the heart. So, who prepares your heart is the Most High. So, if He wants something to come out, all right, or something not to come out, it ain't coming out. I mean, you could think hard and long the rest of your life on it. If the Lord don't recall that thought to your mind, it's not coming out. But we know that we supposed to commit our memory unto the Lord, you see? And by doing this is basically training yourself to memorize, remember something of the scriptures. Case in point, this is what I do, sometimes to remember scriptures. I don't try to remember the entire scripture. I attend myself to remember a word or two in the scripture. All right. Then it can help me recall what chapter and what book. All right. But that's just my method of doing it. But I can, some I can may struggle with remembering precepts. All right. That don't mean the Lord not dealing with you. Or even if you may, miss, basically read a precept and, break it down somewhat wrongly. all right, through the Spirit of the Lord, another man to catch it and be like, whoa, it say this and say that or whatever. But that don't mean you ain't part of the elect, man. All right. You have misread a precept or something like that. That don't mean you're not part of the elect, man. You're not gonna know every precept. You're not gonna break them down all properly. All right. That's just in the error. That's just in the error of man. That's in the trial of man. You see. But this on Proverbs 16:3, it says, "Commit thy works unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and thy thoughts shall be established." All right. Matter of fact, let me get that word established, because it may go beautiful, depending on. Let me get that word established. Shall be established. All right. Fixed. To be fixed, to be secure, determined, pretty. Oh, well, yeah, it's going to it.
Strong's H3559. Coon.
Coon. It say to be firm, be stable, be established. Because most of the time, the reason why we don't remember, because our stability, in our thinking curves, man. We juggling so much in our mind, and men gotta understand. Hey, we juggling we juggling everyday life. All right, we juggling our afflictions, whether it may be bodily afflictions. We juggling children. We juggling work. We juggling our woman. We juggling on demons. All right, what else? Think of all this that's on one man's mind. All right, and also to remember this word of great value. Of course, we study it, right? But it ain't enough studying in the world. There's so many scriptures and precepts. All right, there's no way possible. All right, you can pretty much remember all the precepts. Nobody gonna be over righteous much. But this, like you say, this just a video exhortation for brothers to, hey, if you do probably do some of these things, this may help you, may not. But hey, all things with prayer. Through prayer, the Lord, correct all things. But it says to set up, be established, to be fixed. All right. So when you be established, if if the Lord fix your heart upon the precepts, for remembrance, then hey, man, you're going to be stable upon it. All right. It says to be secure, determinedly, to be directed. All right. Be steadfast in a moral sense, to prepare and be ready. So you're gonna be ready to mind, all right, and you're gonna have a readiness of mind to remember those precepts, man. You see, to be settled, to make firm, to arrange in order, all right. So because remember, because of all the things that weighs on one man's mind, it can have him out of order, okay. Not in an out of order sense to where you going off from the truth, but just meaning that your mind is not totally arranged to basically focus directly on the scriptures or something like that, because you may be getting sidetracked, other thoughts coming to mind, or demons just, putting thoughts in your mind, man. All right, while you're trying to bring out the word of the Lord. And trust me, this not happen to every man. You can't be locked into the spirit all day, 24/7, man. That ain't even a balance. But even when doing videos and times that you want to remember, and brothers that bring out points, and you know the precept, but you can't recall it, the mind. Hey, that's demons, man. Because how could you know something, but though yet you forget it? All right, and then once it's gone, or would like to say, the brothers have passed it up, and then you remember it. That's just a demon, man. All right. It says to direct towards, to direct it towards remembering it, man. Okay, to fix direct. All right, so to make to have that readiness of mind, basically, man. You see? But let me get into some of the pre's. Slocky. Let me get into some of the precepts, and Lord willing, it be edifying. But this I read that second Maccabees 2 and 24 and 25 again. It says, for considering the infinite number, okay, the volume of the book, and the difficulty which they find that desire to look into the narrations of the stories, for the variety of the matter, man. You see, it's a variety of things, man. It's hard. You got a variety of the things you got to basically set forth in your mind, man, to remember them all. It says, we have been careful that they that will read may have delight, and that they that are desirous to commit to memory might have ease, and that all into whose hand it comes might have profit. You see? So this I'm gonna jump to second Esdras. And like I said, Lord willing, I can give you brothers some pointers and it'll be helpful to you brothers, man. This is second Esdras chapter 14. And on 39, and it reads, it says, then opened I my mouth, and behold, he reached me a full cup, which was full as it were with water, but the color of it was like fire. Okay. It says, and I took it and drank. And when I drunk of it, my heart uttered understanding, and wisdom grew in my breast, for my spirit strengthened my memory. You see? So his spirit strengthened his memory, man. All right. And it's what it says, drink of the word, basically what, study it, read it, man, be in it. All right. Bind it upon your fingers and the tablets of your heart. You see? But he says, for my spirit strengthened my memory. All right. Your spirit goes into your soul. All right. Which is your genetic makeup, which makes up your spirit, man. All right. All those attributes, man. So use the things that's, case in point, nobody knows yourself better than you. All right. So Salaki. So in your soul, you have ways of doing things, like case in point, things around the house. All right. Say for example, I'm gonna use example. I put my my undershirts separate from my socks, just separate from my t-shirts, or whatever the case may be. But I put them all in separate drawers. That way I will remember. I will remember, all right, this my sock drawer, my t-shirt drawer, or my, versus, and it'll be easier for me to navigate through and find an undershirt or a t-shirt, versus if I put my undershirt, my boxers, my socks, my t-shirts, everything in one drawer. All right. I'm going to always be looking through the drawer. Well, yeah, all right, everything is in this one place. But yeah, of course, it's going to take me more time to navigate the fine socks or whatever it may be, because it's all put together, versus preparing that in a different manner and putting some here, some there, some here, and some there, man. Hey, and that's what you got to do, man. All right. You got to lock it in the left side of your temple, man. But hey, use little perks to remember this and remember that, man. Because remember, as of the variety of the matter is heavy, man. You see? So you got to use your spirit to strengthen your memory, man. The way you think, your thinking curve. All right. On how you think, and utilize that the same with scriptures, man. All right. The way you move in life, tools you got when you go to work. All right, then in a special place, as soon as you clock in, to go here to grab that. Highlight this, put a note here. All right. You know what I'm saying? Or when you study this, remember this word or that word in it, the way you could go back to it. All right. This is just, what we have to do on this side, man, because our cells not open 1,000%, man. But, in the kingdom of heaven, man, we're going to be on 144,000%, man. All right. We don't have to remember everything because we're going to know everything. All right. But on this side, this is the condition of the battle right now. You see? But this is it's easy to forget. And another thing to do is remember, most things are written in what? In the old and the new. All right, so this second Esdras 2 and 22. I've not been rambling somewhat, but Salaki Akim. This is second Esdras 2 and 22. It says, keep the old and the young within thy walls. And when you read up a few verses, all right, it's basically telling you, about the 12 trees that he prepared, the 12 trees laden with diverse fruits, basically to teach the people. All right. But the way you teach the people is to keep the old and the young within thy walls. And the old being the Old Testament and the young within thy walls. So a way for a teacher to remember is most of the times that which is written in the old is written in the new. So if you can remember the old, okay, if you remember as it is written, okay, then you would if you were basically if you know it one from the old, that one from the old coincides with the new. All right. So sometimes you could get the new or get the old, depending on the context in which you may be teaching or speaking to the people. All right. Sometimes the old, when I won't say it's better than the new, but it's more fit for the conversation that you're having, man. All right. It's fit for the edification of what y'all talking about, man. Sometimes it's better to get the one in Numbers than it is to get in Matthew or whatever the case may be. But the point is they still reiterate, the way they're still one and the same. It's not like they're different. One just may be more edifying to the purpose, all right, or it may be more elaborative than the other. Okay, so that's a good way to do it, to keep the old and the young within thy walls. All right, meaning for the barrel protection, because your mind is like a wall. It protects what's in it. All right. So if you keep the old and the young in it, being studious, right? Making sure you studying it. All right, it's going, because you could. I mean, it have been tests I studied for right before the test and still failed. So is that because I didn't remember anything? Or it wasn't that I didn't study enough? All right. But how can I fail if I just looked at these words, though yet I still didn't remember it, man? All right. So we know, matter of fact, I'm going to get that. The right to study at the answer, man. Salaki. All right. This, Proverbs 10 and 7 real quick, I think. No, Salaki. Bear with me. Right, this Proverbs 15 and 28. It says, the heart of the righteous study it to answer. Let's get this word studied real quick. Salaki. I didn't have this, but it says,
Strong's H 1897. Haggah.
Okay, it says to muse, to meditate, to devise, to plot. Okay? So it says to devise, imagine, to utter. Okay? It says by implication, to ponder. You see? To study, okay, but to ponder, man. You see? So the righteous of the heart, they ponder upon things, man. Okay? And we know, they got one proverb real quick. It's locking. Yeah, come back to that. But yeah, man. So to pound up on it, man, and to pound is the, of course, it's to think hard, man. Sometimes we gotta think hard to get the precept, man. And sometimes the Father allows us to recall it to mind. And sometimes he allow it to escape our mind, man, which is a balance. Because the Father wanted to come out in his proper time. So anything come out is because the preparations of the heart of the preparations in man, the heart, the Most High allowed his heart to utter it at that time, man. Because as brothers be bringing precepts out and things, like, oh yeah, I know, no, I got this one, and then the subject, the subject of the narrative may change, and now you're like, dang, I just thought about it, man. Once it come back to mind, I get it, and I did pretty sorry, man. Every man go through this phase, all right. So no one thought pattern is above the other, but we all have our measure in the spirit, right? You see, but this Proverbs 10:7. It says, the memory of the just is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot. And the key point is right here, and is the memory. All right, let's get this word memory real quick.
Strong's H2143. Zecher. Zecher.
Okay, it says,
The form just below that. Zecher. Zecher.
it says the memory. Salak, it says memorial, remembrance, memory, memorial. And a strong definition says a memento, it says abstractly recollection. Abstractly recollection, by implication, commemoration, memory, memorial, memory, remembrance, sent. Now they got this word sent here. All right. Let's get this word sent real quick. Salaki. A scent is a distinctive smell, especially one that is pleasant. A trail indicated by characteristic smells of an animal, Salaki, of a scent. I want to get that. It's some particular I want to get in scent. Salaki. Okay. Bear with me. Okay. It was something in particular I want to get with scent. The memorial, memory, the scent. What would they have sent there? Lord willing, they come back to me. Man, come on, man. While I'm doing a video, and the remembrance of the word said, man, Lord willing, it come back around. Lord willing, it will. All right, but the memory of the just is blessed, man. Okay, the Lord that abstractly recollection, man. All right, by remembrance. Okay, let me see. This is another way to utilize remembrance, man, is basically like bouncing ideas off each other. Because a lot of times, a lot of videos that I do, hey, they be inspired by listening to other brothers' videos. All right, it compel you in the spirit to basically what a brother might bring a precept out, and maybe he didn't get super elaborative on it, and you make a whole video out of it, man. You see, I know brothers do this, right? Because we're a family, and one thing family does, family mimic family members, man. All right. You see, if you got a family member, he a hard worker. You might go by his house. He got a nice house. He working hard for his things. Hey, it's hard not to mimic a hard worker, man. Whether a person who, of course, just try to do it the way that they do it, but take that which they do, call it the mind, and be like, I want to have those abilities that he have, man, and add those abilities to your capabilities, and voila, man. But this Proverbs 27, In 17, it says, iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. You see? So we are all brothers and friends, right? So we are what? We are sharpening each other, man. We bouncing ideas off each other, man. All right? And we bouncing ideas off each other, man. You see? Because it's it's pretty much easy. It's easy to forget, but it's hard to remember. And you wonder why that. Matter of fact, let me try this, because I want to make sure I get a balance in that with not just memorizing scriptures, but forgetting too, because the scriptures, wisdom will torment you, man, and make you forget the way. You see, this is Sirach 15:8. It says, Sirach 15:4. I'm gonna bring 15:4 and 8 out. It says, he shall be stayed upon her. Sirach, I'm gonna read 3. With the bread of understanding, she shall feed him and give him the water of wisdom to drink. You see, he shall be stayed upon her and shall not be moved. Oh, then that's like a what? Like a scent. Because what a scent do, it stay upon you, man. And that's what you want these scriptures to do. You want these scriptures to stay upon you, man. All right? You put some of that fancy cologne on. Yeah, at a point in time, it go away. All right? So memorizing scriptures is like putting cologne on, man. Hey, 1 minute it could be, dripping off you, man. All right? What? Running like water. All right? And then the next minute it could be dried up. Meaning what? It could be forgotten. All right. But just because something is forgotten, you don't want that remembrance of that to be gone. All right. You still want to have a fragment of the remembrance in your mind of something of the precept, man. You can't just forget the whole entire precept, man. You see? And hey, that come with, leisure time, reading and, studying it and, getting it basically what? Internally in you. But it says, he shall be stayed upon her and shall not be moved, and shall rely upon her and shall not be confounded. Because there's times where we rely on these precepts, man. Hey, for the sake of the name of the Lord. Hey, we preaching and teaching the name of the Lord, and then there's nothing we should cover more than the what? Prophesy the words. I remember the words that he gave us. Because if we can't utter the words out, hey, we'll be confounded, man. All right. So yeah, in case in point, remember, every man is given a certain measure in the scriptures. Some men remember precepts fluently, and some men, hey, they may stagger somewhat. Do that make one man chosen and the other one not? No. All right. It just in this man portion of his spirit, the Father may have poured more of that into his spirit, man. Okay. But it says, I'm gonna jump to 8. For she is far from pride, and men that are liars cannot remember her, man. All right. So remember, memorizing. Hey, men that are liars don't remember her at all. Like, I just don't know where the precept at. I don't know what the precepts say, man. You see? That's not a man who forget a precept here too. You see? That's not a man that do that, man. Because yeah, you supposed to bind this upon your heart, man. You see? This is this Mark. I'm going to forgetting a little bit, man. You see? I'm gonna cover it all. I know this precept Salak, I know this video been, kind of drawn out, kind of all over the place, man. But, Lord willing, it still be edifying. There's Mark 8:18. It says, having eyes, see ye not? and having ears, hear ye not? Do ye not remember? You see? Because remember, our eyes and ears are blessed, man. You see? Meaning blessed is what? Is established. Okay, it's well ordered. Okay, is anointed. All right. We have that eye self, that we can see, and basically to see is our what? Mental faculty, man, which goes into our eyes. Okay. And our ears supposed to, try these words. Matter of fact, let me get that. This Job. So I can bear with me. This Job 12 and 11. It says, do not the ear try words and the mouth taste his meats? You see? So let's go into this word try. It says,
Strong's H 974. Bachan. Bachan.
It says to examine. Though should not we examine ourselves daily to try, to prove. Okay? To test, to prove, to try. Of gold, the persons, the heart, the man of God, to make a trial. You see? It says generally to investigate. We supposed to be investigating and examining these words. And in it, just take example, you get one of these alphabet bars, the feds, different people, what they do, they go into a thorough investigation till they make sure they cross all their T's and dot all their I's, man. Till they got what? All the information they need. Well, this is what we supposed to do. We supposed to search and seek the scriptures in the same manner, man. All right. To prove that, man. You see? This is what we supposed to do. If he give us bread to eat and water, understand it, hey, man, we supposed to try these words as the mouth tastes his meats, man. You see? This Salaki. So, having ears and see not, having eyes every ear, do you not remember? So you got to remember from accounts. A lot of time I remember scriptures from accounts, reading the account. All right, I might don't know where it's at, but I know what account is in. So if I know what account is in, I'm gonna remember what chapter is in. If I remember what chapter is in, I could probably find around what verse is in. Or where the accounts start at, because some accounts last for chapters. It may be a couple chapters is talking about it. Some accounts in one chapter, some accounts in 3-4 verses. You see? So yeah, like you say, you just gotta utilize your method of how you do it, and come up with a game plan, man, and execute it. You see? But this is Proverbs. We'll get back in Proverbs. 7:3. It says, bind them upon thy fingers and write them upon the table of thine heart, man. Hey, when you put something inside you, man, there's nowhere it could go. Especially on the mind. All right. I ain't talking about putting something in your stomach. I'm talking about putting something in your belly, your spiritual belly, man. You see? There's nowhere for it to go, man. Meaning it's in there. You see? That's why the Lord say, I call you to remembrance, man. All right. For it ain't just the things of old. It's the things you previously studied and went over. All right. Because whenever you go over something, it's basically old. So if I read a new chapter today, all right, now is in processing of being put in my remembrance, in my Rolodex of remembrance, my memory. You see? And it says the memory of the just is blessed. All right. So the Lord navigate you, through your thoughts, man. We got to trust in the Lord ultimately. This not going to come by the way of your hands. All right. You could pray to the Lord, for the remembrance of precepts or whatever the case may be. Right. And, and the Lord going to, answer it accordingly. All right. Everything is done through him. I'm just, throwing out some methods that I use myself, That helped me, but what helped me may not be the best method for you. So, hey, you got to do it how you do it, man. But this Proverbs 5:1, and it says, my son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ear to my understanding. Now, let's go into that word right there real quick. Attend, right? Because we know what the Lord word is.
Strong's H 7181. Kashav. Kashav.
It says to hear, be attentive. Heed, take heed, incline of ears, of 10 of ears. Not just read in Job 12:1 to our ear try words, all right? To hearken, to pay attention and to listen. All right. In a formal way of remembering, and I speak to myself first, right? The best way of remembering something is to listen to it or pay attention to it. And the same thing with paying attention is you examining it. You really, you closely investigating it. All right. That's the best way to not, hey, I gotta adapt this principle myself. I don't, I don't want to be over righteous much. This will be helpful to me first and foremost, and to whoever else. It apply. Hey, it is what it is, right? It says to incline attentive ears, hearken, pay attention, and listen. So as myself, I would like to do twice as much more listening than talking. But hey, through the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, you gotta pray for that, man. And those brothers who had that more portion in the spirit, hey, I encourage you brothers to do, a video on that, going into your gifts or whatever it may be on how brothers can, you into your mind on how you do it, that they could help, basically train themselves or take some of your methods to add with theirs, man, and become more prosperous. It says to pay attention, to give attention. This the point. It says in a strong definitions, to prick up the ears, i.e. to hearken, intend to hearken, give heed, incline. This the point. Mark, regard, but to mark. All right, to mark something, man. You see, it's the basically put something in there, man. Hey, the scriptures say, mark the perfect man, for the end of that man is peace, man. All right. You go into the, it's to identify, what I'm saying is to identify, it's locking. But this, to mark something, meaning let's see this word mark again. This is Isaiah 26:3. Let's hammer that point home right there. Bear with me. This is Isaiah 26:3. It says, thou will keep him in perfect peace. Remember, I just read, mark the perfect man, for the end of that man is peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. Now let's go into whose mind is stayed upon thee. All right, let's go to this word stayed real quick.
Strong's H 5564. Samach. Samach.
Samach. It says to lean, to lay, rest, support, put, uphold, lean upon. So the Lord saying, look, lean your mind or the support, so I can support your mind, so I can aid you with the Holy Spirit to remember these words, man, and these verses recited in paper, man. It says to lean, to lay upon, to lean against, to support, uphold, sustain. So, hey, to stay up on, to keep your mind stayed up on is for the Lord to sustain you, man. Hey.